Yes, I think when we see people who live such constantly overly stressful lives, many can't take it for long. And then they start looking for a way out, trying to find a solution. But precisely because of this background, others say, he began to believe in Buddhism is a form of escape. He can't handle his life. He's not good enough, he's not strong enough. So when he faces failure, he runs away. Runs away to what exactly? He hides, yes, he hides in Buddhism. A lot of people have this kind of stereotype. It's very common. They think that this is simply a form of escapism. So how would you explain it in your own words? How would you convince them that this attitude is not a form of escape, but rather a way of confronting the fundamental and essential problems of life that we all face? When I talk about this with friends, they feel that it's simply escapism, that you just can't handle it, that you're simply not strong enough. I always have to explain to them, actually, you are the ones escaping, you are the ones not facing the fundamental issues of life. But how can we get them to truly understand this? I wonder what your thoughts are.
Because people's mindsets vary vastly, there are different kinds of people. Back in the 70s and 80s, those years in particular, in many movies and TV shows made in China, these portrayals exist. If one studied Buddhism or to be a monk, it seemed like a form of escape. There were movies and TV shows like that. But I honestly think that in the process of learning about Buddhism, I won't deny that there are a few people who do it to escape, that I admit. But we cannot assume at this stage Buddhism, monkhood, and practice are all forms of escape. Among the people I came into contact with, it should be over 90% of people all have causes and conditions. There are various and often deeply personal reasons for people entering Buddhism, for example. So if we approach this issue using scientific attitude, objectively evaluating our question, we should try to understand the other person's mindset and their unique perspective as well. If we make sweeping generalizations, however, this is simply unscientific. Are there a very small number of people who are escaping? There certainly are some, definitely, but this kind of escape can have two outcomes. One is that the person is escapist, but later, after truly understanding some Buddhist teachings, escaping pain at first, but in the end, not only do they no longer need to escape, they become quite strong too. Then they guide many others. We have a few monks like this in our area. At the very beginning, he was indeed in his life, saw some things that were not optimistic. It's an escape. But then he learned something after studying. They gained some real understanding themselves. Then in different situations, depending on the particular circumstances, they could use their own experience and knowledge to persuade others. There are people like this, but there's another person, he has an escapist mindset and never really ever enter into it. The oceanic expanse of Buddhist scriptural wisdom, start out escaping and end up failing. There are cases just like this too. Looking at it as a whole, people who study religion now currently cannot all be treated as merely superstitious groups or bound by some restrictive, outdated, and limiting ideas. That would just be unwise, because behind religion, behind faith, there are indeed very profound meanings. Before we can genuinely and sincerely understand, fully grasp its essential meaning, if we jump to conclusions too quickly, the consequences could be unimaginable.